It's Monday, June 26th, and this is your coffee break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski with the latest local news, including an attempted murder-suicide in Fairfield, a boat accident in Darien, leaving a fisherman severely injured, and much more. Frank Nito will join us with a look at the forecast and later on a Nutmeg sports update, and Donna Lang will join us later to take a look back on this day in history. But first, Hearst, Connecticut media reports that Fairfield police are investigating a suspected attempted murder-suicide that left a mother dead and her 8-year-old daughter injured. Police found 36-year-old Ivana Krektoyek dead at her Barlow Road home on Saturday, June 24th. Her daughter went to a neighbor's house, according to Fairfield Police Chief Gary McNamara. She seemed confused and told neighbors that her mother was hurt. Well, the girl's neck had injuries consistent with strangulation. Ivana Krektoyek's husband, Vassal, died back on June 22, 2015, according to Hearst. He was 38 years old at the time. And in other news, in Stratford, a late Sunday night fire forced people out of a Peace Street home and caused heavy damage. Stratford firefighters responded to the fire that was reported on Sunday evening at 265 Peace Street. Fire Marshal Brian Lampart said that the blaze engulfed a second-floor bedroom and severely damaged 2 other rooms with smoke and heat. Well, 4 engine companies were able to bring the fire under control within 15 minutes. No injuries were reported, but several adults were left without a home due to the fire's severity. The Red Cross provided assistance in finding temporary housing. You can look for updates on that story at StratfordStar.com. And in other news, a 51-year-old Harrison, New York man died after falling into the Stamford Harbor Saturday night, leading to an hour-long search for the victim. Well, the Stanford Advocate reports that boaters had noticed one of their companions was missing from their 38-foot cabin cruiser as they neared the docks at Stamford Harbor. Well, Stanford Fire, Police, and Emergency Medical Services began to search the shore and water for the victim shortly before 11:30 at night. Stanford Fire Department's Engine 1 crew noticed a reflective object in the water off of the public dock behind John Bacuzzi Park off of Southfield Avenue, according to the release. The crew guided the Stanford fireboat to the object where the man was found around 12:30 a.m. Sunday. The fireboat's crew pulled the victim from the water and tried to resuscitate him. He was sent to a local hospital where he was pronounced dead. And in Darien, a sailboat left unpiloted for a period of time Sunday morning collided with an anchored boat in which occupants were fishing off of the Darien coast, causing severe injuries to one of those fishermen. A 33-foot sailboat was operating under power when the operator, one of 3 people on board, went below deck to retrieve an item leaving the sailboat unpiloted. During that time, the sailboat hit the center console of the 20-foot boat, which was anchored at the time on the right rear side. The impact forced the rear of the boat underwater momentarily, and one of the occupants fishing was seated at the rear of the boat and was struck by that sailboat, suffering fairly severe injuries to his right leg, according to Darien police. Both boats were able to get into 5 Mile River to secure their vessels and seek medical treatment for the injured parties. Both the Darien Police and Coast Guard are conducting parallel investigations. The operator of the sailboat was cited by the Coast Guard for negligent operations under the United States Code investigation, but Darien Police say their investigation is ongoing, and you can get more details at DarienTimes.com. And in other news, a multi-vehicle crash and tanker rollover closed I-95 northbound at exit 27A Sunday evening. State police shared photos from the scene yesterday. That tanker was carrying antifreeze, so a DEP hazmat team assisted with removal of the antifreeze and the tank. DOT was also on the scene assisting with the highway closure at that time. And a Trumbull man was arrested June 22nd and charged with stalking a Milford woman that he once dated. According to police, on June 4th at about 2:30 in the morning, 23-year-old Robert Rubino of 14 Mohawk Drive in Trumbull entered a Milford home looking to make contact with an ex-girlfriend who was not there at the time. Rubino was found by a different family member and asked to leave. At about 3 a.m., the woman returned home and said she had been followed by Rubino when she was leaving a restaurant earlier in the evening and that he had tried to block her vehicle from leaving the area so he could talk to her. The woman was able to drive away, but when the woman later searched her bedroom, she found that items were damaged and a purse was missing. Family members said this was not the first time they found Rubino in the area of their home trying to look around and make contact with the woman. On June 22nd, Rubino was taken into custody by Milford police, and he was charged with stalking, burglary, breach of peace, and unlawful restraint. And New Canaan police picked up a juvenile wanted for stealing a Mercedes-Benz SUV that was parked at a home on South Avenue with the keys inside. On June 22nd, the juvenile was the second youth to be charged for the theft of that car that had been discovered missing back on June 11th. At 9 a.m. that morning, police were dispatched to the home because a car with an estimated value of $40,000 was missing from the driveway. Now, the car had been left unlocked with the keys inside, according to police. The other youth, 19-year-old Christian Medell of Norwalk, was arrested June 13th in conjunction with the car theft after the Milford Police Department called to say the stolen vehicle had been located off of I-95 at a Motel 6 in Milford. The police went to Milford to retrieve that vehicle, and with the help of video surveillance of the motel parking lot and Milford police, New Canaan police determined that Medell and a male juvenile age 17 were responsible for that theft. It was also determined that property inside the vehicle at the time of the arrest was stolen from unlocked vehicles found in driveways in Norwalk. Well, on June 22nd, New Canaan police traveled to the Juvenile Detention Center in Bridgeport to serve that male juvenile involved in the theft with an arrest warrant. Let's switch gears now. Throw it over to Frank Granito for a look at the forecast. Frank.
Thank you, Kate. It is absolutely beautiful outside right now. We are seeing plenty of sunshine and near perfect conditions. Very comfortable out today. Temperatures in the low to mid 80s with very low humidity and a light breeze around 10 miles per hour. We may see a little increase in cloud cover later on this afternoon, but we should have mainly clear skies overnight with a low of 65 heading into Tuesday morning. Comfortable out again tomorrow with partly cloudy skies through the day and an expected high of only 79 degrees. There is a chance for a passing shower or thunderstorm tomorrow afternoon with humidity levels on the rise a little bit before Tuesday evening, but we should see partly clear skies overnight and dry conditions with temperatures in the low 60s. Ideal again on Wednesday, mostly clear skies, temperatures right around 83 degrees. Very little humidity during the day, a little breezier out, wind gusts between 15 to 18 miles per hour. Clear skies continue on overnight as we get closer and closer to the holiday weekend. The back end of the week, Kate, looks like it's going to be pretty good as well.
Thanks so much, Frank. We're going to step out for a break. When we come back, Donald Eng joins us to take a look back on this day in history. Frank has your Nutmeg Sports Update, and there's more local news after this. Spring has sprung at Walter Stewart's Market, and we're celebrating the new season with fresh takes on spring. From the finest produce around to guaranteed fresh seafood delivered daily by the best local supplier. Not only are we your time-saving one-stop shop for everything you need this season, our personable team is always ready with a helping hand. Shop Stewart's for the best of spring. Find us at 229 Elm Street, New Canaan, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com.
The new fishing season is fast approaching, so it's time to head over to the dock shop and get your gear in order. We're now offering bait in both Darien and our Westport location. The dock shop can service and repair your rods and reels, spool up new line, and fill any empty space you might have in your tackle box. Whether you're a fisherman, boater, or beach bum, the dock shop is a unique place to shop. The dock shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, dockshop.com.
Did you know heart attacks and strokes are the leading cause of death in America? Protect the health of you and your loved ones. Talk to a doctor about heart disease. Hi, I'm Dr. David Pazer with ProHealth Physicians, encouraging you to stay informed about health matters that affect you.
ProHealth Physicians is on the pulse of social media to share information about health and nutrition with the community. Get up-to-the-minute alerts, including ProHealth Physicians news and upcoming events. Connecticut's leading group of primary care doctors is just a click away.
I can't believe it.
Well, Dad, you did it. You sold 160 cars. Ready to go back upstairs now?
I think it's time. I wonder how the boys are making out in their new office. Not what I had in mind, Kyle. What, Dad?
Maybe we should retire. Right now, lease a 2017 Rogue S for only $139 a month. Isn't it time you got Millerized?
If you've ever thought about owning a motor coach or learning about what it's like to travel the open road in superior style and comfort, then contact Dave's RV Center in Danbury, Connecticut. Offering the best quality Class A motorhomes from Newmar, travel trailers and fifth wheel lines from Surveyor, and a toy hauler line from Work and Play. Choose from Newmar's Gas Line, Base Star and Canyon Star, or from Newmar's Diesel Line, Ventana and Dutch Star. And with unparalleled service and maintenance, Dave's RV is committed to keeping you and your motor coach safely on the road and enjoying it to the fullest. Stop by their showroom, 2 Industrial Plaza Road, Danbury, Connecticut, or call 877-483-3866. If you're watching this broadcast, you're not alone. The HAN network is available for 200,000 Connecticut cable customers on the Frontier network, and we've also reached more than 2 million viewers on our free live streaming sports, news, and entertainment broadcasts. To reach our rapidly growing audience, contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
Welcome back to this June 26th edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. Time to take a look back on this day in history with Donald Eng. Don.
Well, Kate, 90 years ago today, it was a great day for tri-state area chiropractors. First, though, we're going to go to 1843. The Treaty of Nanking comes into effect. Now, the treaty had ended the First Opium War, and it had been signed aboard the HMS Cornwallis. That is the same Cornwallis that lost the Battle of Yorktown, ship named after him. The treaty obligated the Chinese to 13 concessions, including ceding Hong Kong Island in perpetuity to Britain. British obligations were non-existent. The unequal terms and the fact that I called it the First Opium War are a pretty good clue that the conflict was far from over. 1870 now we go. President Ulysses S. Grant gives the country an early Christmas present. Actually, he gave the country Christmas, signing legislation making December 25th a national holiday. Now, it's unclear when December 25th became the official date associated with Christmas. Sometime in the 3rd century is the best guess. Also, up until 1840, actually celebrating the day was considered poor form. Since 1870, though, the Christmas has become gradually more prominent in American culture. It remains the only religious-based holiday observed by the federal government. To 1917 now, 100 years ago, the American Expeditionary Forces begin arriving in France, though they won't see combat for another 4 months because General Pershing, that's him on the right there, insisted that Americans not be used as replacement troops and also not deploy until they were fully trained. By early 1918, the doughboys were arriving in France at the rate of 10,000 per day. Finally, now we go to 1927 in Brooklyn for this. That is the Coney Island Cyclone, which opened on this day in 1927. The half-mile track includes 12 drops, the tallest being 85 feet. It is currently in the final phases of a refurbishment that includes replacing the original track. If you really want a stiff neck and don't want to go all the way to Brooklyn, there are replica cyclones at Six Flags parks in Georgia and Illinois. That is your look back in history for today, June 26th. I'm Donald Eng.
Thanks so much, Don. Well, in other local news, a UPS driver was arrested by Wilton police last week for larceny and identity theft. 26-year-old Jonathan McLean of Norwalk was arrested on 2 warrants. In April 2017, the department received 2 separate complaints of individuals who lived in Tolland and Southington who were victims of identity theft, and their information was used to purchase cell phones online. Now, subsequently, the cell phones were scheduled for delivery at various homes in the town of Wilton, unbeknownst to those homeowners. Video surveillance at one of those homes revealed that Jonathan McLean, an employee of UPS, drove to the residences of scheduled delivery, however never delivered a package. Further investigation by Wilton police detectives in cooperation with UPS management determined that McLean was involved in a scheme where he was aware of these fraudulently purchased cell phones on his truck for delivery, which he would not deliver, but rather sell to third parties. All right, let's throw it back over to Frank Granito now for a Nutmeg Sports Update. Frank.
Thank you, Kate. And let's start up in Cromwell, where the world's 6th-ranked golfer Jordan Spieth defeated number 18 Daniel Berger on the first playoff hole from the TPC River Highlands course to win this year's Travelers Championship. Spieth, who had to save par from a greenside bunker on 18 to force a playoff with Berger, found himself right back in that same bunker on the first playoff hole and was able to chip in that sand shot and win the tournament. This was Jordan Spieth's first trip to Cromwell per a PGA rule change this year, where we have to see players now playing in at least one event every 4 years that they have not participated in. Spieth was just one of a few big names that made their way to Cromwell for this year's tournament. It was a lot of fun, and it was great to see professional golf thriving in Connecticut. And now we want to offer congratulations to swimmer Kieran Smith, a rising senior at Ridgefield High School who has given a verbal commitment to attend the University of Florida. Smith announced the decision on his Instagram page wearing a Gators t-shirt and a photo writing, "Proud to call myself a future Gator." Earlier this month, SwimSwam magazine ranked Smith 8th in its top 20 national list of boys swimmers in the class 2018. Smith said, "I chose the University of Florida because it is the perfect fit for me." Florida has won 5 straight SEC conference championships, and this March they finished 3rd for the 2nd year in a row at the NCAA championship. There's more on that story at theridgefieldpress.com, and we will have more on that story on Nutmeg Sports later on this afternoon. That's going to do it for this Nutmeg Sports Update. Let's send it back over to Kate.
Thanks so much, Frank. Well, the April 29th reenactment of the Battle of Ridgefield has left the Masons who organized it with some bills to pay. First Selectman Rudy Marconi said they're unfortunately in the red as a result of their activities and hoping that people will still participate in their silent auction at battleofridgefield.org. Now, Lou Demchik of the Ridgefield Masons Jerusalem Lodge 49 wrote the First Selectman describing the lodge's plight. He said they have $19,000 of debts remaining, of which the police department is owed a substantial sum. When extra police are needed on duty for an event, the cost of paying them is passed on to the event organizers. The Masons silent auction will go until July 7th. It offers original 17th and 18th century Americana and is raising funds to cover the expenses incurred by the Masons and the 1777 Worcester Sons of Liberty Foundation in putting on that reenactment. Now, Demchik said the Masons also plan to continue selling their Battle of Ridgefield t-shirts at events in town, such as concerts and the 4th of July fireworks. Well, the battle reenactment drew huge crowds, and Marconi thought that Ridgefielders who had enjoyed that battle might come forward and help. But you can get more information at theridgefieldpress.com. And the town of Darien's fireworks display returned this Saturday, July 1st, with a rain date of Sunday, July 2nd at Darien High School. Parking passes are now on sale for residents at Town Hall through June 30th from 8:30 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon for $30. Pedestrians, of course, are free, and that event will include local food vendors and the Darien Community Band. You can get more information at DarienTimes.com. We're going to step out for a break, and when we come back, we're going to recap some of the top stories we're following today on your coffee break after this.
Want a new experience in car buying? Scap Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram with one of the largest inventories of new 2- and 4-door Wranglers. We are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Come visit our new Ram Truck Center. Browse our websites, scapchryslerjeep.com or scapdodge.net to find the new Jeep, Chrysler Dodge car, minivan, or Ram truck you've been looking for. Just 2 miles from both I-95 or the Merritt Parkway exit 44. Save thousands right now during the Drive and Discover event. Now through June 30th.
You don't have to go far for authentic Neapolitan cuisine and renowned wood-fire pizza. Pizzeria Loretano of Bethel is a contemporary Italian bistro, specializing in authentic wood-fired brick oven pizza Napolitana. Pizzeria Loretano was named one of America's top 1,000 Italian restaurants in 2008 by Zagat, and recommended by Jane and Michael Stern on National Public Radio's Splendid Table. Located close to the Bethel Cinema, we focus on quality, and our food is always made to order. Join us for live jazz Sundays from 6 to 8. Find our schedule, menu, and more at pizzerialoretano.com and like us on Facebook.
Family and Children's Aid has been serving the community since 1809 and is now the largest outpatient children's mental health care provider in Western Connecticut. Our innovative services include providing shelter to homeless moms and children, substance abuse intervention, mental health counseling, and foster and adoptive services, among others. Our goal is to provide individuals and families a safe haven and hope for a brighter future. Find out more about us at fcaweb.org and call our Danbury campus at 203-748-5689. A Better View Window Cleaning Plus has been cleaning glass all over Connecticut for over 20 years. They also specialize in cleaning chandeliers, mirrors, skylights, tiles, and will power wash anything that needs cleaning. They hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and are fully insured and bonded. When you deal with a Better View, you're dealing with the best, not the rest. Call today for a free estimate, 203-284-8836, or visit them online, abetterviewcleaning.com.
At InSports Trumbull, the game is always on inside. Registration is now open for our fitness training programs for high school athletes. The InSports Performance Center is offering blast speed classes, athletic functional movement assessments, and both men's and women's elite speed and strength training. Our premier programs help bring athletes to the next level. Call 203-268-1214 for more information. Like and follow us on Facebook.
I'm Tracy Masella, a licensed clinical social worker at Silver Hill Hospital in New Canaan. Join me each month as we talk with experts on the front lines of the treatment of mental health and addiction. Straight Talk with Tracy, a Silver Hill Hospital production, airs at 12 p.m. on the second Thursday of each month here on the HAN network.
Welcome back to this Monday edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, recapping some of the top stories we're following today. Hearst, Connecticut media reports that Fairfield police are investigating the suspected attempted murder-suicide that left a mother dead and her 8-year-old daughter injured. Police found 36-year-old Ivana Krektoyak dead at her Barlow Road home on Saturday, June 24th. Her daughter went to a neighbor's house, according to Fairfield Police Chief Gary McNamara. She seemed confused and told neighbors that her mother was hurt. Well, the girl's neck had injuries consistent with strangulation. Ivana Krektoyak's husband, Vasil Krektoyak, died back on June 22, 2015, according to Hearst. He was 38 years old at the time. And in other news, in Stratford, a late Sunday night fire forced people out of a Peace Street home and caused heavy damage. Stratford firefighters responded to the fire that was reported Sunday evening at 265 Peace Street. Fire Marshal Brian Lampart said the blaze engulfed a second-floor bedroom and severely damaged 2 other rooms with smoke and heat. Well, 4 engine companies were able to bring the fire under control within 15 minutes. No injuries were reported, but several adults were left homeless due to the fire's severity. The Red Cross provided assistance in finding temporary housing. You can look for updates on that story at StratfordStar.com. And a 51-year-old Harrison, New York man died after falling into the Stamford Harbor Saturday night, leading to an hour-long search for the victim. The Stamford Advocate reports that boaters had noticed one of their companions was missing from the 38-foot cabin cruiser as they neared the docks in Stamford Harbor. While fire, police, and EMS began to search the shore and water for the victim shortly before 11:30 at night. Stamford Fire Department's Engine 1 crew noticed a reflective object in the water off of the public dock behind John Bacuzzi Park off of Southfield Avenue. The crew guided the Stamford boat to the object, where the man was found at about 12:30 a.m. Sunday. The fireboat's crew pulled the victim from the water and tried to resuscitate him. He was sent to a local hospital where he was pronounced dead. And in Darien, a sailboat left unpiloted for a period of time Sunday morning collided with an anchored boat in which the occupants were fishing off of the Darien coast, causing severe injuries to one of those fishermen. A 33-foot sailboat was operating under power when the operator, one of 3 people on board, went below deck to retrieve an item, leaving the sailboat unpiloted. During that time, the sailboat hit the center console of a 20-foot boat, which was anchored at the time on the right rear side. The impact forced the rear of the boat underwater momentarily, and one of the occupants fishing was seated at the rear of the boat and was struck by the sailboat, suffering fairly severe injuries to his right leg, according to Darien police. Both boats were able to get into 5 Mile River to secure their vessels and seek medical treatment for the injured parties. Both the Darien police and Coast Guard are conducting parallel investigations. The operator of the sailboat was cited by the Coast Guard for negligent operations under the U.S. Code. Investigation in Darien is ongoing, according to police. And a multi-vehicle crash and tanker rollover closed I-95 northbound at exit 27A Sunday evening. State police shared photos from the scene yesterday. That tanker was carrying antifreeze, so a DEP hazmat team assisted with the removal of the antifreeze and the tank. DOT was also on the scene at the time, helping with that highway closure. All right, well, taking a turn, let's get one final look at the forecast with Frank, and I think it's pretty good news.
It is pretty good news, Kate. A little bit of a heat wave again back this weekend, but we've broken away from that. It is absolutely perfect out right now. We are going to see plenty of sunshine today with temperatures in the low to mid 80s and very little humidity out there. Light breeze around 10 miles per hour. Could be a little increase in cloud cover later this afternoon, but we should have mainly clear skies overnight and a low of 65 heading into Tuesday morning. Comfortable out again tomorrow, partly cloudy skies through the day, an expected high of only 79. There is a chance for a passing shower or thunderstorm later in the afternoon with humidity on the rise a little bit, but overnight we should see partly clear skies and temperatures in the low 60s. Ideal conditions again on Wednesday with mostly clear skies and temperatures right around 83 degrees. Very little humidity and a little breezier out as well. Clear skies continue overnight. There'll be a low of 63 degrees carrying us into the back half of the week for what should be a perfect 4th of July weekend. That's going to do it for the weather. We'll be back at 2 o'clock for Nutmeg Sports. Let's go back over to Kate.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. Well, that's right, 2 o'clock Nutmeg Sports coming up on the HAN Network, and we'll see you tomorrow for your coffee break at 11. Enjoy the beautiful weather.